What other school did you hear about? Because Hampton is.
Well,
Hampton
my
is a good
assistant
school.
Renell went to Hampton for a year.
Oh, okay.
And also that guy that Ellis used to do a podcast with.
That
this
who?
guy,
Oh, Ellis. Yeah.
His partner in that podcast, Mike, went to Hampton, and he was talking about that. I know Ellis went to FAM.
Yeah.
I was around FAM when I was in Tallahassee.
Yeah. You was around FAM in my life.
Yeah, and
FAM has, like I say, really good law and pharmaceutical.
Yeah, no, it was just something I was just curious about because, I just had no idea.
As far as academic and campus.
or just general prestige of going.
General prestige, yeah. Howard is number one. And that's been so long. That would be a good research to see it has any other school
rivaled it or close,
come close. Huh? As far as academically and prestige wise, prestige, if you think about it in that sense, Howard has been number one, forever. So I wonder has any other HBCU rivaled that, especially as far as high school students coming out.
Yeah.
What do they think? Huh?
Doing big things. High school stars.
Not as far as not as far as people who've graduated from there. Yeah. Just in genuine prestige. And academics, but mostly prestige.
And I from my experience, a lot of people that I know that went to FAM are really successful.
Yeah.
And do very well for themselves.
It was a time where FAM was they were paying, they gave you monetary incentive to go if you was a top black student.
Oh, I've heard
almost
about
a scholarship. They probably put it as a grant or scholarship.
Yeah.
What's the big the black exec that went to FAM? Movie exec. What was his name?
Rob Hardy?
I don't know. There has to be a couple.
Will Packer?
Will Packer. Yeah.
Will Packer went to FAM. He was talking about how
well, they were there together.
Right.
And then my friend Mitzi works with Rob now.
Okay.
Will Packer was coming out of high school. He was he got accepted to Yale and shit like that.
Oh, okay.
But when they.
J Sundays. Grow yourself, mold yourself, then behold yourself. Show yourself, know yourself, that's that soldier self. Love yourself or hate yourself, still remake yourself. Embrace yourself, grace yourself, that's that save yourself. Mind yourself, refine yourself, redefine yourself. Align yourself, climb yourself, that's how you find yourself. Take yourself, shake yourself, that's how you wake yourself. Regulate and separate yourself. My mind is brilliant. To whom much is given, much is required. So now I am acquiring assistance from higher dimensions to inspire my village. My fire intrinsic, conspired intention, for silence and wisdom, divine intervention. Arrive to the mission, arise to ascension, reviving the vision. To thrive with the business, it's Jai's my witness. I'm gonna present it every time I spit it. Mind, body, and spirit, you feel it in your senses. It's etheric, esoteric. Let's go get it from the hood to the astral plane. Been misunderstood, it's all good, cause that come with change. Crawled about that comfort zone, conscious with a conscious man. Quick to move with caution, cause in combat it'll cost you playing games no more. The game so cold, remain on go. Estranged from the days of old, reclaim your soul. The flames gon' sustain the growth. More precious than a chain of gold. The pain I wrote bring angels close. Well protected by the things I spoke. You can't reap what you ain't gon' sow. We make peace when we take that oath, and shake free when we break that yoke. It's a mantra to awaken your hunger. This is lyrical tantra from a spiritual gangster. It's a mudra, something that can soothe ya. Let it behoove ya to live in the truth. Yeah. Love, one, Jason.
Really weird, man.
Oh, shit. Welcome back. You guys are on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink. Oh, let me turn these mics down a little bit here. And you guys, we have Just Black on the show. What's going on, Just Black?
Hello there. I'm good, man.
Just Black TV on YouTube. And we have a really good show for you guys today, as always, as we would hope so. We're going to be talking some Ed Reed at HBCU football. John Morant gets drug tested as an abnormal amount of times. He keeps dunking on folks. That'll probably keep happening. And NFL playoffs are continuing and going on. Austin Rivers hits the trending news with his thoughts on basketball and where basketball is going now.
Mixtape culture.
Yeah, mixtape culture. We talked about some highlight culture here on the show, so it kind of fits in to what we've been doing. And we got some Gilly the Kid, all types of stuff we're going to be talking about today on the bench. Don't forget, On the Bench podcast, we're available on all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I haven't even shared on my social media yet, but I'm going to do so for sure. I wanted to start with this. What I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try to – first of all, I like when things happen. Sometimes things happen like right a day before the show.
Yeah.
Or the day of. That way it's fresh. We get it out, and it's still trending when we put it out on YouTube or social media, and that's good. And then sometimes it's bad when things happen Thursday morning or something. Yeah. And the show, we have to wait a week. But Ed Reed, the new coach of Bethune-Cookman, he comes out. This had to be like that Friday morning-ish, a day or two after our show. And I had time to sit. First, I had time to get really hyped about it. Then I had time to really simmer down, process my thoughts. You know what I mean? Because YouTube, what I'm finding is I got to tone down the cursing a little bit here, a little vogue language. They handing out money, but they want you to do it their way. So for this topic, I'm kind of happy he did it at the timing that he did it, right?
So that your timing's good.
So you can calm down.
Yeah, so I can calm down a little bit. Still gonna be a little hype, but Ed Reed, I'm gonna play the video clip that's trending and that most of you guys, if you guys have been watching or interested in it, he's talking about the school and pretty much the place of the school and what he didn't know and things like that. Hold on, let me play it and then we're gonna react.
Been mutton and showing shit. I chose not to, but now I'm out here walking with the football team, picking up trash. But I'm mutting us. Man, get out of here, man. I should leave. I'm not even under contract doing this. I'm mutting us? Man, get out of here, man. They mutt me. These motherfuckers ain't even clean my goddamn office when I got here. I'm mutting y'all? Get your ass, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. All this shit here was trash in front of me. Who you think got this shit cleared out? That building right there got trash in it. It's fucking trash. What are you talking about? Need no goddamn donors to come out and help out, because people just want money. That's why I don't fuck with social network. Fuck out of here, man.
So you don't mess with social network, but that's the first thing you're doing. Okay, all right, listen. Okay.
What do you say wrong?
Social network.
Social network. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go on my little quick diatribe, and then we're going to converse about it. All right.
I'm just gonna say I think Ed got all the cussing in for the segment.
Yeah, I know. Right? Editor,
after your speech about calming down the cussing.
What y'all expect from Ed Reed? That's what I wanna know.
I don't know, a couple interceptions.
Chris, if you're watching the show, we got work. We got some work to do and post edit it. All right. So yes, my problem with this, it's a few problems I have with this. First of all, yes, I am an alum of Bethune-Cookman University, and I have been covering HBCU football since I went there, so that's since 2009. I haven't stopped. I go to a few games every year. And my problem is with Ed Reed, but also the people who watch this and automatically chime in, who may or may not have went to a HBCU, but automatically chime in and just takes Ed Reed's stance and backs him on that. Ed Reed was extremely wrong, and in my opinion, he's extremely wrong in every fashion of what he's saying, but specifically the way he decided to come out and explain about the things that's going on. Number one, you're taking over as the coach of Bethune-Cookman University, a team that has been bad for a few years now, right? we know that Bethune-Cookman and other HBCUs, we know we lack funding. We know we lack resources. And we know that sometimes the little funding that we do get, there are certain situations in certain schools where the people do things that are not right with those little funding that we do get or do receive. Like that's common knowledge. That's you know, it's just common knowledge. Okay? So when you get on here, it's almost as if, are you here to assist or are you here to further hurt HBCUs and especially the sports program? All right. Now, when you get on here and you say, when you get on here and you explain about the campus is being dirty, why are you not asking why the campus is dirty? Why are you not asking why your office is dirty? Why is the first thing you decide to do is get on social media and to pretty much like just throw us under the bus, throw Bethune under the bus, throw the I want to say organization, but the administration under the bus, you know, because I feel like you were so ready to just take any coaching job that came your way. You didn't take any time to understand the state that Bethune-Cookman is already in right now. Bethune-Cookman and Daytona is still recovering from a hurricane, right? Should it take this long to recover? No, but that's just the way things go. If you go to New Smyrna or if you go to Embry-Riddle side or Daytona State side, their side is still cool. But on the black side of Daytona, it's a lot of stuff that's still messed up from the hurricane. If you go and Google what Deion Sanders said after they played on Bethune-Cookman, he didn't even know how they were able to come to the game. Is the state of what Bethune-Cookman and that campus was in, after the storm, right? But of course you don't know that. But all you have to do is ask. You just don't go straight to live and just talking crazy like that. Second of all, talking about your office, man, grab a broom and a fucking mop and go and win a game or two. Like what are we talking about? Okay, your office is dirty. I mean, like, come on, man. It's not like you found out your players are eating peanut butter and roach sandwiches and the damn you don't have enough money for your recruiting trips. Like real things that can affect you losing games. Like you're talking about a dirty office. Like you know what I'm saying? Where's your coaching pedigree? Like what are you talking about? All right, like yes, you would like for those things to be, you know, good, and you would like for your office to be cleaner, and you would like for them to wash your car every Thursday. But you know that's just not how things operate. Things don't operate perfectly at every HBCU. Probably at none of them. So again, are you here to assist, or are you here to, are you here to cause damage? Which is what you're doing with these comments. And yeah, he came out and he apologized, but damn, the damage is already done. You know, you reacted like many dumb Americans do in this day and age when their first initial reaction is to grab a phone and go live. You know what I mean? Thirdly, and more importantly than anything I just said, why on God's green earth are these guys, Deion Sanders, Ed Reed, why y'all not going on your phone, going live when these white schools won't give y'all an interview? Deion Sanders is the greatest football player arguably to ever live. Ed Reed, the greatest safety arguably to ever live in the entire universe. All right. Ed Reed, a part of the greatest college football run at the University of Miami. Why y'all not going on live? Miami been trashed for fucking how long now? It's been, goddamn, 20, 30 years now.
Since Ed Reed left.
Why you haven't gotten an interview there? You've been wanting to coach. You've been wanting to coach for years. You can't even get an interview at the school that they fucking made millions of dollars off your image and likeness. These white folks don't give a mother F about you, man. Why won't you go on live and talk about that? Make that trending. But you rather make live videos further destroying HBCU football. You know what I mean? Yes, we lack funding. We lack resources. Yes, we struggle. But hell, we've been kicking and going since the 1800s. If you don't accept this coaching job, we're going to continue to go into the 3000s, whatever you want to say. Like, that's just how it goes. You know, make videos about that. Why won't you do that? Because without Bethune-Cookman, where are you? You're not coaching. You're not doing that. Because Miami don't want you. Goddamn Florida State don't want you. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucking USC don't want you. So make videos about that. Let's start there before you talk about a fucking dirty office that needs a broom and the bleach. You understand? Like, it's just so fucking dumb and out of place. It's and all the minions on Facebook, you know, Marquise, I hope y'all don't mess this up with Henry. He talking about he can leave. Well, leave. We still gonna play football next year. It's okay. Slide. You understand? Wait another 40 years for Miami to give you an interview. That's what you do. You know, you got Will Lee. Oh, just it's a dirty office. You can't do that to a Hall of Famer. Tell these white schools to honor a Hall of Famer and give him a fucking job. That's what y'all do. Why won't y'all make posts about that?
Ooh, take a deep breath, man. Ooh, I never saw you like this.
Yeah, he's fired up, man.
My nipples hard, man.
I didn't need to know that. I could have done without that.
I was gonna tell you how you wasn't wrong, but I don't want to get beat up, man. You like you've been working out. Yikes.
Oh, that's funny. I guess what I would say is this. It was idiotic to go live on that. And I don't know if he did it just in like an emotional rash decision or he's a genuine idiot. I don't know. But like you really ask yourself what good comes out of that? Like what could possibly come out of that?
I mean to be honest, man, that I think it was very necessary. And I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
So Deion Sanders took the JSU job and donated half his salary and donated money to help improve and promised him 2 years, gave him 2 years, took him to the championship both years. He did all these great things, and then when he decided to move on and he got a position that pays more money and at a just got a better opportunity, to put it frankly, everybody came at him. Everybody, the internet went crazy. The culture, the community, and every blog site, and everybody went crazy and say, "Oh, Deion was this? He terrible." After doing all these great things, and that's because he did it in a prime way. He did it politely. He smiled. He had a good time. So if you don't be like, "Hey, this shit is fucked up, and this is why it's fucked up. Let me show you how fucked up it is," people are gonna assume that it's not as fucked up as it is. And sure. Daytona is recovering from a hurricane. Sure, but the question is, why is it taking this long? Why is there no pride in the facility? One thing growing up where I come from, and we didn't have a lot of money, we didn't have a lot. We took pride in the little that we had. We made sure our stuff was clean and neat and new because we wasn't gonna get nothing else. So it is okay. Yeah, this is underfunded, of course. But if it's underfunded and you know you ain't gonna get nothing new, then you take care of that little that you got. And so that's frustrating. That's frustrating that you can't win for losing. When Deion did it a righteous way, he did it with a smile. He took the criticism on the cheek and made it flamboyant and made it a show and a spectacle, so that and took it on the arm and took his lashes. Everybody not gonna be nice. Everybody not gonna be polite, and everybody not gonna be calm. If I just got a new job and I'm coming here to change the culture, sometimes changing the culture requires a hurricane. No pun intended.
But do you think that that's the hurricane? A guy that hasn't won a game yet, a guy that's brand new to campus, and a guy and like, I don't want to say it was not an unhinged rant, but it wasn't like focused and tactical.
Because
it just was a bad look.
But I think it ain't. There's no. You basically giving him a pile of shit and say fix it.
That's every bad team that fires a coach, the next coach is taking over.
Of course.
A pile of you know what show.
Of course.
And if you and this is the thing. Yes, Bethune-Cookman is a pile of you know what show, and along with being a bad team. But you would know that if you weren't so hungry and thirsty for a coaching job.
I don't think he didn't know that.
He did. He had no fucking idea. And I'm gonna tell you something. That was his first time visiting a campus. What reputable coach takes a job before even visiting a campus, before talking to anyone on the coaching staff, before talking to any of the players? I'll tell you who. A coach who was so fucking excited to have one team that wanted anything to do with him as a head coach. That's who.
This is the thing, though. You genuinely think that Ed Reed.
I'm telling you. Yes, he did not visit Daytona Beach, period, before taking the job.
Listen,
that's what I'm telling you.
I'm your friend, man. I didn't do it. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. Yeah, take a sip of whatever that is. Woo! I'll take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Look. I still love you.
Go ahead, man.
This ain't about love, man.
Yeah, okay, but the thing is, there's one thing I hate about like this whole like this woke and like pro-black movement is that everything that we do now is above reproach, and he shouldn't have did this, shouldn't have did that. I don't care if he didn't know how to get to Daytona until he got the job. If I'm taking a job, just like if you take a job, and in the first day you walk into your office, it's a disaster. You don't want to know why it's a disaster. You just want to know what the fuck y'all wasn't expecting me. What happened? So at some point there has to be some accountability.
That's not true. I'm gonna ask, why is it like this?
Right. But you gonna go in there calm and say, damn, why is my office a mess? You gonna be like, what the fuck?
No, I'm gonna ask. I'm just gonna why is it like?
So you're not gonna say
I'm gonna ask my boss, like, hey, is this the right?
You're not gonna say what the fuck to yourself.
Maybe.
That's a huge difference.
Yes,
Your self narrative versus what you choose to put in public platforms is a whole different animal.
No, it's not. We in a different world, man. We in a different
we
world.
are in a different world. It's still a different animal.
Right, but like that's where we are. We show our failures and our success in front of the world now. That's what we do.
Yeah, but that's not his failure. You're saying you show your failure. That's not his failure. He's describing that's a failure on the school and on that football program before he's even detaching himself from it. He says, I'm not even hired.
And it's all name one thing that he said that was untrue.
It's not that he wasn't attempting to say anything factual. He's just bitching about things being done.
Right, yes. and that's what people do. That's what people do. So now it's an issue. The thing is, it was so much wrong when Deion Sanders took the JSU job. It was so much wrong, and he took it with a smile. So then when he left, after producing and making the situation better, making the facilities better, making the staff better, making the culture and tradition culture better.
Congratulations.
No, but listen. And then when he left, he got shitted on. It's because he didn't say, hey.
Not by JSU. People shit on LeBron for missing layups. Like, that's the internet. That's the internet,
that's
man.
That's the world we live in.
Like, that's the world we live in. Like, hold on. Because, listen. Like if you're a part of the HBCU, you know there are things wrong with HBCU.
But that's not okay. So just because we know that it was a pre-existing problem, don't mean I can say, damn, this shit really is fucked up. I didn't even know it was like this.
Okay, if you can help, come in and help and assist.
But that
don't come in and further damage.
No.
Deion, you just listed out things that Deion did to help JSU and assist JSU.
Okay, so this is so.
How many of these comments did you hear from Deion? How many?
Look what Deion got for it. Shit. The same thing he getting for this.
What do you mean? He got a better job. What are you talking about?
But look,
nobody wanted Deion.
I'm talking about from our people that look like us. Outlets that
we don't have nothing to give them. It's not for us to give them anything.
Then it is nothing. It is what he's saying right now. There's nothing that we can take from him.
No, he's taking away from us. That's the point.
No, he's not, because he's still there. He's still there.
How do we know? He said I should leave.
He should.
He just said that in that video.
He should.
Like, God damn it, leave.
He ain't going nowhere.
Because he want the money and he
No,
want the
exactly.
opportunity.
What money?
That's why.
What money?
The man ain't coaching for free.
No.
The man ain't coaching.
No, hold on.
He
hold
don't
on.
need. He don't need
Hold-
their money.
No,
Come on now.
No, hold on. This is where this goes because you said it. He's desperate for head coaching experience. This is the outlet that gives it to him. You asked why he didn't talk about Miami not giving him an opportunity because he still wants to end up there. He wants to use this as Dion did as a stepping stone to Power 5 football, and that's what this is about. And so he's going to shit there because it's easy. And here's the reality. That rant was not – it was simple. He's bitching about stuff being dirty. He wasn't, like, going much deeper than that. But it looked – it appeared to be just like basically an immature thing. It also appeared like he literally didn't know what he was getting himself into, that he's surprised in some way. And it's a bad look. I think that rant hurts him more with Power 5 schools than anything.
I don't think so because first of all,
I do. Now, winning heals everything.
yeah, but if
Winning heals everything.
but we talking about Ed Reed. If Ed Reed would have went on camera and said, "My office is disgusting. It's filthy," we would have been like, "What the fuck is wrong with Ed Reed?" But this is what I expect from Ed Reed.
I can promise you, there's a lot more wrong with Bethune Cookman at HBCU.
But that's
in
not
a dirty office.
But that's not a good.
promise
That's
you
not
that.
a good defense for why it's fucked up. Hey man, it's fucked up.
It's not a defense at all. Like I'm telling you, that's just a factual fact.
Yeah, but so
like it's just the sky is blue. Like that's all that is. And this is the thing.
But-
you either know that and not take the job, or you
No,
know that and
but it's
come in
not-
and saying I'm going to help
but it's
and
not-
fix and change things.
But it's
around.
not the sky is blue. It's the sky is gray, and we have to fix it.
No, I'm saying you should know that coming in. If you want to coach this school, you should know that things are not as up to par as you're used to being around the University of Miami. That's something you should know
No, but look,
before you take the
but
job.
look.
And once you
somebody,
take the job,
somebody can tell you something, but until you actually experience it,
But that's why it really looks like he had never really investigated the job before he took it. He didn't go to campus. He didn't look at facilities. Like this all came down within the last 25 days. Like, it wasn't like he was there visiting and the office looked great and then somebody threw a bunch of dirt and dust in there. I mean, he took this job. It really appears like sight unseen.
but I think both parties did the same thing.
Agreed.
They saw somebody cute at the bar and they married him.
I agree. I totally agree with that.
So this is what you get when you get home. You be like, oh,
Well, I said when this hire was made that this is the legacy of Deion Sanders in HBCU. It's not that he's going to stay there forever. It's that the programs see a pathway to get a high-profile name, bring them in. It juices the program. It juices enthusiasm. And high-profile guys that are getting shunned by PWIs for important coaching positions see this as a viable path to get head coaching experience, succeed, and move on.
And
it's a mutual jerk.
But that's the thing. That's the part that I don't like. People, they don't realize that it's mutual. So he's trying to get coaching experience, high profile, and they trying to get the money that comes from that. People showing up, them getting major looks, people getting NIL deals, schools getting NIL deals. It's a give and take from both of them.
But Bethune is not releasing statements that about Ed Reed. Like this is the thing. Like, yes, it's mutual.
It's because Bethune.
But Ed is not appreciating his part of the mutual mutual agreement.
But look, Bethune is the ugly chick in this situation, and I know you went to Bethune. I know you love Bethune. So Ed Reed don't need Bethune as much as Bethune needs Ed Reed.
Ed Reed needs Bethune way more than Bethune.
No, they
needs
don't,
Ed Reed.
because
Ed Reed is not coaching if it's not for an HBCU.
But guess
he
what?
wants to coach.
He had an off-field role with Miami. They wouldn't even let him be.
But so what? But guess what? When he go home, he's still Ed Reed.
And we're still Bethune. We've been in business since 1904.
Yeah, but okay.
We've been in business before his goddamn great granddaddy was alive, man. HBCU football been rolling since the 1800s. We're gonna be okay. JSU is gonna be okay next year. But they were okay the year before Deion got here, and he's gonna be okay the year after Deion got there.
Bubba, but that's not true.
That is very true.
It's not true.
Everything I just said were facts.
No, it's not, because HBCU.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say any lies.
The whole reason why this is a big deal is because HBCUs are dying.
They're not dying.
Yes, they are, man. But Bethune almost closed a few years ago.
That's okay. In the 1960s, they almost did.
So that's dying.
That's not dying.
Yes, it is.
That is struggling. That's a part of the black fucking DNA. Like, that happens. All right. Like knock on the door when Bethune-Cookman actually does die. I went to Edward Waters College when they didn't even have a goddamn the thing you need to be an institution.
Accreditation.
Accreditation. They didn't even have accreditation. Like
Right.
that stuff like that happens to HBCUs all the time. And that's what I'm trying to tell you.
But what you saying? That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah,
that's why
you're telling me that's a thing that should be alarming. That should be this. That should be that. But what I'm saying is, HBCUs go through that every year since the 1800s.
that's like if you dating a girl and y'all been together for years and she catch you cheating, you be like, well, you knew I'm a cheater. No, it's like at some point we have to fix it.
But who's going to fix it?
You have to blow it up. And sometimes you blow it up in front of the world, and it's not fun to look at. Sometimes you curse at the screen and say, "Look at this bullshit."
Dirty campus is not fucking blowing
that's
up.
my point. That's not blowing
Don't
shit up.
But to him, it may be.
it's not.
That
No, it's
doesn't
not.
matter. Like, I mean,
No, it's not.
if we're gonna say, at the end of the day, you really need substantive change. What he did isn't going there.
Yeah, but okay, so like I said, they saw cute people at the bar and they married each other. So
Right.
so now this is what comes from that. You go there, you get a fucked up living situation, and then on then you blast it in front of the world. They both fucked up. They both wrong.
But he's the one that made this statement.
Yeah, and I stand with Ed Reed. Motherfucker.
You're welcome to stand. With it.
Stand wrong.
It just wasn't. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't a good look. It wasn't particularly profound. It was just
But if you're looking for Ed Reed, if you're looking for Ed Reed to be profound, then that's not who they hired. They hired Ed Reed.
We didn't hire him to rant about the school.
No,
we hired him to create a buzz and win some fucking games.
And that's what he's doing.
He ain't done shit yet.
He hasn't done anything.
He hasn't even cleaned his office.
When the last time y'all covered BCU and you went to BCU?
I covered them when they played JSU, when they played Deion. You can make an argument that was because of Deion.
It's not making an argument. It was.
First of all, hold on. We've been a bad football team. We don't cover bad football teams on. We don't talk about the Orlando Magic, and we're here 5 minutes away from the arena. Like, we don't talk about bad teams on the show. We just don't. Yeah. And Bethune-Cookman is no fucking exception. Like, we just don't talk about But if Ed Reed goes on a run.
So why are you talking about them now? Because of Ed Reed.
This is trending. Yes.
Mission accomplished.
Listen, man.
So the people gonna be buying tickets to the first game.
Yes.
When that hasn't happened in Daytona since.
But if they go off to an 0-4, no, that's not true. That's not true. But because we won some championships while I was there in school. So if
they go 0-4, it's gonna make ESPN and people still gonna buy tickets to see them lose.
That's not true.
Yes.
No way.
No,
yes.
it's not.
If they're
you're
0-4, no.
You're misled.
And they're not gonna go on 4.
We don't know that. We don't know that. We don't know what he is as a coach whatsoever. And that's the point. That's why, you know what I mean? We don't know if he can coach or not. He doesn't even understand that getting players together, right? You're saying
no. I think he does understand.
Hold on, because this is the thing. You're saying, like, things should change and things shouldn't be the way they are. And this is what I'm saying, being a part of the change instead of damaging the culture. Because getting an entire football team together and saying, hey, let's go around and clean up this campus and help since nobody else is, that's getting the team together. That's camaraderie. And you are helping change
how you know he didn't do that, though?
He did. But why are you complaining about it?
Because we talking about there is something to be said about creative license. So we talking about them. They still clean up the campus and they gonna win some games.
We're talking about it. That did damage to Bethune and HBCU.
No,
Yes, it did. People are saying Pink first listen. Pink just told you what he thought on first listen. Like, oh damn, yeah, they could have cleaned up the office. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's what people think. Like, and that's a negative image. Another negative already came from Deion's situation. Right.
Yo, so
and then now it's coming from from Bethune. Like now it's like, oh shit, every HBCU.
They should, but nobody thinks because every HBCU is not like that. That if every HBCU is like that, and then he went there and people saw that, and he wouldn't have been surprised by it if that was the case. But every HBCU isn't like that. That was the alarming part. Like, what the fuck? Y'all don't give a fuck about this place.
But what I'm saying is also when you're trying to get people to donate money. When you're trying to get people to donate time, you don't need negative comments like this. That's not going to get people to help, and that's not going to help you come out of being underserved and lack of funding and things like that.
But this
is not going to help.
But this is
only going to hurt.
This is the thing though. Just like you said, HBCU, not even HBCU, Bethune-Cookman University has been around for 200 years, correct?
1904.
1904, 100 years. 116 years. 18 years. 118 years.
Don't fuck up the math. It's
yeah. Oh, my bad. I didn't go. They let me in. I just didn't go. That's back when they was letting anybody in.
They dodged the bullet, didn't they?
Yeah, for real. But they've been around for 118 years because Pink did the math.
That's right.
And he's a lawyer. So in 118 years, and you still have struggled with funding. You still had struggled with prestige. When you should not be struggling with any of these things because you have so many people who graduate from BHCU and have done great things. But so
what? If they don't donate top dollars,
right?
Don't be the
so that's what I'm about to tell you. So that's the issue.
Yeah.
So
that's one of.
So just because if you point out a problem, there's no way you're the problem.
I'm not. No,
he's not. We're not saying he's.
I'm not saying he's. Yeah, that what you got out of that?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it was bad deduction.
How?
I want to suggest this. Okay, if you stand with Ed Reed, what is his plan? What do you like? Why did he do this? Because if you stand with him for something other than a grown man throwing a hissy fit, there has to be. You have to see some sort of plan to this. That's worth pursuing.
No, it's not even about a plan. It's more of I understand. So like it's like him having this was an angry outburst.
Right.
Okay. But I also understand what he's saying in that outburst because if I get hired for a new position and I come to my office the first day and it's trashed, it ain't nothing you can tell me about why this is trash. And if the best thing you can tell me is that we were coming from a hurricane, but I just went to Daytona. The parts that are not occupied by our people is running fine.
That's what I said.
So at some point, especially if it's and there are other variables, but at some point, the things that are run by our people, that are of our people, that are from our people, we should take pride in that.
And guess what? If Ed Reed said some variation with that, we'll give him 4 or 5.
But Ed Reed ain't as debonair as me. He just can hit people, man. That's what I think y'all missing. That is Ed Reed.
We get it, but I mean, I also
Ed Reed is I'm not sure that he's not a caveman.
I don't know. I don't know.
Ultimately, we'll see. You know what is coaching if we get to see. I mean, he's saying that he hasn't even officially been hired yet. And that he should leave and things. So we'll see. But ultimately, what we want to know is can he win some games, right? And will he become a part of, will he become more a part of the solution than the problem? So that's what we'll see. Once again,
winning is everything, though.
Yeah.
Because I mean, and you look at this, it's like if they win. He'll be regarded highly. This will be, hey man, he needed to shake stuff up, and this is what we needed. If he loses, this would be, man, we knew this guy was an idiot from day one when he was bitching about his dirty office. That's the way life is. Like if you win, everything you do is okay.
Yeah.
If you lose, everything you do is the reason why you suck.
Can we talk about something happy now? Man, I've never seen Bubba. I've known Bubba for a very long time. I've never seen him like this, man.
Like Chuck commented and said, man, you just
I think Bubba
you haven't
needs,
seen any Ben Simmons.
I think Bubba needs a hug and some head.
For real.
Volunteers, step up.
Not even Ben Simmons
Yeah.
getting Bubba like this,
Yeah,
No,
I've seen
man.
my
no,
Ben
no.
Simmons
You
fans.
weren't.
No.
You were not in the studio for all those Ben Simmons fans. I'm still traumatized.
Once again, you guys are on the bench podcast. Bubba and Pink. We have Just Black in the building. Just Black TV on YouTube. So let's switch here. We got some other things going on in the world of sports, music, and entertainment.
There's hardly a week that passes that I don't wake up from a sound sleep and yell, "Fuck you, Ben Simmons!"
Yeah, he's the worst guy on the planet. And Reed he's closing in. Damn. But hold on.
Wow.
I want to give a quick shout out to our very first sponsor, OverKing.com. OverKing.com has all, and I do mean all, of your bedroom needs. Use promo code BubbaPink, and you can get there for a discount. I actually was helping her. This is a black-owned business.
You was helping her do what?
She's redoing her website.
That's what I was.
She's redoing her website.
Is redoing your website code for something else?
Yeah, what? Yeah, what?
She's adding some items, and everything like that. So you guys definitely want to support Overking.
Did you help
She's
her
trying
select
her
the items
hardest.
to add?
No, they were already selected.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you see anything you really liked?
Of the new stuff?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Not really.
Really?
Not like and what I would buy to use are two different things. Yeah.
What would you buy to use?
Yeah, what's the distinction between stuff you like and then stuff you would buy to use? Can we have some examples?
No. Because some of those things I had never even seen before.
Really?
Like what?
But something I would buy to use, that the new rose with the handle, I'll buy that.
Okay.
Yeah, it got the handle. Didn't it? But versus
That's for women though.
yeah.
You gonna use it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I'm about to say I don't know where you was going with
Yeah,
that.
because just the rose alone, you got to get real close and it get messy. You know what I mean? But the handle, you got more flexibility with the handle.
But you on the
Especially
but
if you're-
something- but
especially if you're
something-
dealing with a squirter.
But something I just like but wouldn't buy. They got this thing for dudes. It's like a made up mouth but it also has this rose feature in the middle. And it's like it's giving you head, but it looks like a cylinder, so it's like it's a big apparatus, man. And you're supposed to put your thing in. And
all right, yeah. Let's move on.
You know what I mean?
But over King, you only can like pay through PayPal.
No, you pay.
Oh, because when I went on there one time,
it was only PayPal.
no, I got something from there though, but I don't like using PayPal though, because I need to get some butt plugs.
Okay,
Multiple.
they got those.
No, not for me, not for me, guys.
But I mean, like, who are you providing butt plugs? You said plugs, plural. I mean, how many we getting and who gets them?
My girl like a different variation of butt plugs. If you
Okay.
really want to know, 'cause, God, it's none of your damn
You're
business.
supposed to pack your own butt plug.
We're gonna edit that out and put that on IG. That's what we're gonna do. Let's get some NFL out the way, and that's not the NFL I'm looking for.
It's the old one, man.
That's the old one. What am I
Like we
doing?
didn't just play a week of football.
So NFL playoffs are here, and we have already watched some really good games here. I want to do more previewing versus talking about what already happened here, man. And you got some big matchups that are coming up. None bigger than what game do you think is the bigger game, the more marquee matchup? Dallas versus the 49ers or the Bengals Bills?
Bengals Bills gonna be a
100%.
better game for sure.
But what's the I didn't ask that. What is the big
I mean, more people
The more
gonna watch the
marquee matchup.
more people gonna watch the Dallas game,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be a dud.
Is in the one
I mean, it's the stupid fetish behavior of Cowboy fans that why more people watch it. Anybody that knows a damn thing about football knows that Buffalo Bengals game is
It's gonna be
where
a
it's at.
game. That's gonna be a game.
Yeah.
And it's more significant.
Yeah, because whoever wins that going to Super Bowl.
Yeah.
May well. Right over the corpse of Bubba's Chiefs.
Keisha said, "Yo, I came in at the wrong time." Yeah, you
man.
did, Keisha. I gave you a shout out, not the good one.
Yeah, it wasn't a good shout out. Keith.
Yeah. No, I'm most excited by that. I do think the dynamic of those two teams being on the field about 2 weeks ago with the with the heart attack situation is gonna add a layer of intrigue to this particular game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's supposed to
And
be at
actually,
the
to
game
be honest with you, I think that's why at the end of the day, I think most people will probably tune in more to that game
because of Hamlin. Yeah,
and what that'll be built up and talked about.
You
so
know the
much.
camera. You know they're gonna show him every
Oh, yeah, all
10
the
minutes or
time.
so.
Man, it's hard to beat the Dallas viewership though, especially they in the playoffs. Man, that's all I hear nowadays.
And they played well. And don't sleep on the 49ers fan base.
I think the 49ers.
The 49ers gonna beat
They
them
probably got the second biggest fan base in the NFL, right under the
for sure. For
Cowboys.
sure.
Really?
Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 49ers fan base is humongous. And
We're stuck in the 90s then.
yeah. The 90s was a great era though.
Oh,
It's
Jimmy
not a
Johnson.
bad era.
I love
Just
the Jimmy
to
Johnson
be stuck in.
Cowboys, and then you had the 49ers. That was
But
good stuff.
I of course I agree with you guys. Josh Allen versus Joe Burrow. You know that's going to be hard to turn down and hard not to watch, for sure. But I'll say this, man. I'll say this as well. Chiefs are my team, but the Jaguars are a little intriguing just because of Trevor Lawrence. Like if he can put 4 quarters together, of course they had the big comeback last week.
Yeah.
But if they can put 4 quarters together against a average to below average defense that the Chiefs have, that game can get interesting pretty quick. But of course you just can't predict Andy Reid and Mahomes going down.
Yeah, because he can't gun
the first
he
game.
can't gun with Mahomes though. He ain't gonna be able to sling with him.
I don't know, man. I don't know. The weapons are very similar. So we'll see.
I think the Chiefs win this. I think they win. They have more experience.
Yeah, it's the experience
it's
factor.
gonna be. They're gonna know how to handle themselves. They'll be able to roll better with the punches of the game, good or bad. I would be really shocked if the Chiefs were to
Let
lose
me ask you
game.
this on both sides. So let's start here since we're just talking about the Chiefs. If you're the Chiefs, assuming they win, who do you want to play out of the Bengals and Bills? Of course, you got Burrow has won the last. 3 or 4 games.
on that bait, you've kind of got the Bills' number. So I would, if
Yeah,
you're
I'd
big
go
into
Bills.
believing that the significance of those things, you want to play the Bills.
Yeah, I go Bills. But I think the Bills, if Bills make it past the Bengals, they just got that emotional thing right now where everything's if they make it past the Bengals, it's gonna be all about that kid.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
that story.
there's emotional. I mean,
yeah.
And I say, if you're the type of person that gets into this, yeah, I mean, definitely with every round that the Bills progress, there's going to be more and more this Cinderella narrative and with Hamlin and all that, which is fine. But I definitely think the Bengals, with their recent success over the Chiefs, are going to feel they have an advantage. I absolutely love the line of Joe Burrow last week. The title window is my career. That's badass.
Yeah.
But if you are the Chiefs, the mentality has to be and can only be, I don't give a fuck who we play.
I think that is their mentality though, because they're especially Mahomes. He just that.
It don't matter.
Low key, Mahomes probably wants the Bengals just to put it to bed.
Probably.
Yeah,
Rest.
I
But-
think so too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I just really feel like it don't matter who's there. We're
Yeah,
coming
this
through.
doesn't matter. And then on the other side, of course, we're going to assume the Eagles beat the Giants, which that might turn into a closer game than we, because Jalen Hurts he's been off for a few weeks. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
you got to factor in a little rust in the first
Well,
quarter or
and,
so.
and again, you look at the Eagles. They won a Super Bowl a couple years back. There's not a lot of holdovers from that particular roster on this roster. This roster they're the top seed, but they haven't had a lot of playoff success.
Yeah.
And this Giants team has a very nice feel about them. They really believe in themselves. And I think this game will be closer than expected.
So who would you want to see if you're the Eagles out of the Cowboys and Niners?
I'd want to see the Cowboys. I think the 49ers, and I think the 49ers are a tough-ass team.
I think they're gonna beat the Cowboys.
I think they beat the Cowboys by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be easy, easily.
But I am pretty over the whole Brock Purdy thing. I just don't give a damn. Like they're just trying to push this narrative of the.
But
Mr.
you have to,
Irrelevant
man.
No, you don't.
That's
No,
that's
you don't.
so significant.
Yeah, you gotta
You're the
do- you got-
last pick of the draft.
You got to do Cinderella,
Seventh
man.
round.
You always have to have a
to.
Cinderella.
And you have to push it
I'm not into
because we've just never seen it.
I'm not into white chicks in long dresses.
Well, I mean, but we've seen him before. Like we've seen that quarterback before.
Maybe.
Not to the extent as far as like the last pick and that.
No, I know what you're saying, that type of quarterback, but we don't know. But we don't know yet.
I think they're gonna win the whole thing. and it's gonna be that whole little thing.
Well, if they win the whole thing, you give it. I mean, you could put that shit. Purdy goes into a stratosphere.
All right, for that reason, I don't want them to win.
He win it all. He goes into a stratosphere.
Yeah, I don't want them to
But
win.
that does go into, of course, my long-standing thing on the show. I have to wait to see until the quarterback gets paid, to know exactly what that quarterback is.
Well, what is okay? So I know Trey Lance is on a rookie deal for a high first-round pick. What is Jimmy's deal?
Jimmy, remember, he went on an extreme. He came back on an extreme team-friendly deal.
Okay,
so
I
he's
wasn't
making
sure. That's what I'm
less
saying.
than less than Lance.
Oh, okay.
Right?
So
and then
even though they've played 3 quarterbacks this year, their total allocation of money
it's
to that
low.
position
Yeah.
is below any of the other established guys.
Yeah, but Joe still hasn't gotten paid.
Right, but you got Pat's been paid. Josh has been paid. And then Joe, Trevor, and Hurts are all rookie deal guys.
Yeah.
And Dak's been paid.
Dak's been paid.
They all getting paid.
Yeah, in retrospect.
Yeah, we know
but
about
as far as to the the NFL has they have very strict salary cap. So yeah, they're able to put so much around those teams, man, around those guys that they haven't been paid yet. So, but Purdy, if he wins, he's going to deserve it, man. Whether it's a great team around him or not, they're going to need him to make some throws, and it's going to be a great game. The way Dak and that offense is looking, the thing about the Cowboys is inconsistency. It's
the Cowboys.
It's not exactly how good they are. It's about whether that team from last week is going to show up this week. If you think the 49ers are going to win, it's because you don't think that team from last week in Dallas is going to show up.
No, I just think the 49ers are better.
If that team shows up, they're going to beat the Niners.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
No.
I think the Niners
are
is
a
just better.
different animal.
They're just better.
They're deep and different, man. The Cowboys. I mean, again, you're talking about last week. Yeah, last week they missed 4 extra points.
Yeah, they gonna
That murders you in a close game.
They gonna have to beat the Niners. The Niners not gonna beat them.
I don't think they got it in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you have a Brock Purdy meltdown where just the moment's too big and he folds. But I mean, again, they're very good defensively and offensively. I mean, they've got the ability to run the ball with multiple runners, including McCaffrey, who's excellent. And McCaffrey, he's had a good run of healthy games right now.
Yeah.
Like, you forget how good he is.
Yeah.
Like, when you watch it, oh, damn, that guy.
Yeah.
When healthy, and it hasn't been often enough, he's an exceptional player. And then you got Devo. And then they've really been getting Kittle the ball as consistently as they have in quite some time.
Yeah, well, that's because he's a guy that also
He's
misses
also
a
been,
lot.
healthy. But again, even when he's been healthy, like, he hasn't – to me, he hasn't, even when healthy, hasn't gotten this steady amount of targets of the ball.
And
they're doing a good job that way.
And quarterback play has been a part of it.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Jimmy G is not awful, but I mean, Purdy is playing at a level, in my opinion, above what Jimmy G was playing at.
I mean, Purdy playing with house money, man. So it's like
extreme house money.
So he just like, man,
yeah,
I've done better than I'm supposed to ever do in my entire life.
Yeah. So I'm just free.
Yeah. So
I'm going to take issue with this though. Him going in the Mr. Irrelevant pick was a failing of the league. I'm not a huge fan of this guy, but FSU had recruited his younger brother, so I was aware of who he was. This guy was like a 3 or 4 year starter at Iowa State in the Big 12. He put up good numbers there. His teams were consistent, and they did win some bigger games, some upsets. This guy could play football.
Yeah.
And if you ignored that in the draft for 7+ rounds until the 235th
well,
pick,
he had a bad combine.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying.
But you're dropping the ball like that.
Yeah, you're dropping
the ball.
That
is a failing. This exposes a failing of the entire league and not evaluating.
That's hard to say because the NFL is one of those. It's probably it's probably at the top as far as like professional leagues where it doesn't translate to the next level how good you are in college all the time. Or how bad you are all the time.
Not all, and I'm not saying this guy should have been in the first round by any means. I get the measurables and the combine matter, but this all day was a middle round guy based on his experience, consistency of performance, and being a gamer. And he showed that for 3 or 4 years as a starter in a big conference, and he basically got ignored.
Yeah.
And I thought that's the failing. Not that he should have been a top 10 pick or any of that. But for him to go as late as he did was still a failure.
I'm rooting for him. I think he's gonna win it, the whole thing. That's my pick, man. We taking bets or something?
I'm not a bettor. Bubba was a bettor earlier in the season. He's got awfully. We haven't had a Bubba pick since about week 3.
NFL started whipping my ass. That's what happened.
Quietly got out of gambling.
But yeah, so
Bubba took an Irish exit in gambling.
So we'll see, man. This is going to be an awesome week of games, so we'll definitely see. But quickly, while we're still in the NFL, just moving on to some quick NFL notes. What should Brady do, man? Tom Brady, what should he do?
Play.
Huh?
Play. What else is he gonna do? You know, he could always start the broadcasting career when he wants, but I think it's still in him to play, and I think he'll kick the tires on whatever opportunities are out there, whether it's Las Vegas or whatever. And I think his number one option is to play. And if he could find a situation where he thinks he can win, he'll play. If he can't, I think he goes to broadcasting.
What he should do is just go home, man. You Brady, you rich.
There ain't nothing at home right
yes, I mean for Brady, it's something at home. You just don't know about it.
No, I'm just, yeah.
And he been married. Man, Brady's probably having threesomes every night now.
He's a liberated man, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
God damn.
It's. I mean, you got.
Who wants to fuck Tom?
You got some. I mean, it's Brady, man. He what? It's nothing left to do, man. He married a model, divorced.
That's not the way a guy like that is. He's wired to do stuff. He gets up every day and wants a threesome and wants to go do some stuff. He's not a sit at the beach guy.
Well,
yeah,
come
that's
down,
part of the
come
problem.
down and coach FAMU then.
That's not a problem. That's just the way some people are.
But my thing is, I'm a firm believer in you're worth what somebody's willing to pay you, right? But if somebody offers them the
Russell Wilson will tell you that that's not true.
No, the people that paid Russell Wilson will tell you that's not true. That motherfucker ain't worth a dime.
I would, if I'm any team, I would stay far away from Brady.
What? Why?
If I'm any team,
You just think
Any
he's dead.
team?
yeah. If I'm the Raiders, why would I want anything to do with Brady in that division? I don't know. I wouldn't want him. He hasn't showed this year that he can play at an elite level. He showed that he needs a lot around him and he can play, good football. That's what he showed.
Don't underestimate the preseason absence and the general dysfunction of that team.
Yeah, and his
A
life.
lot of that was his doing, though.
I understand.
Damn near all of it.
And going through the whole divorce thing. I think
all of that was his doing, though. So who's to say next year? Because when you get older,
he's already divorced.
Other
Yeah,
things
he's single
okay,
now,
but
man.
what about during the year before a game, going to a damn wedding? You know what I'm saying? That you didn't even practice all week. Like,
No,
as you get older, other things become priorities that you want to do with your friends and stuff like that.
But the caveat I would say, if he comes back, knowing his mentality, it's to do it right. He's not going to come back and take an absence to go to a wedding.
Yeah, but you have to assume that. You have to
Who
assume
has to assume that?
if you're a team, you have to assume. Okay, I think Brady is going to come back all in. Nobody
you have
really
to.
knows because I'm sure Tampa thought that coming in this year that it was going to be the
No,
case.
apparently
because
they
he
did.
was on the fringe of retirement. On the fringe of retirement, you're thinking, okay, if he's going to come back, he's going to come back and really do it, really be focused, and he wasn't. So that's the thing. We thought Brady was above the divorce,
Right.
being that would have severely affect his play. And
I don't.
He wasn't a bad.
Yeah, I don't think it
quarterback.
was. I think Tom Brady he's old, man. I think we were forgetting that this is an old man, man.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. So I would stay away.
There's a lot going on there, but
And there's no teams. The only team that's like, okay, if we have a quarterback, we can win it all, is the 49ers. And he's from the California area, but guess what? Purdy's playing good. You don't want to sit him down and bring Brady in.
but they would.
you
though.
owe in a heartbeat.
Yeah, they would though.
Yeah.
They probably shouldn't, but they would.
No, they would in a heartbeat.
I don't think so.
Nah, they would, man. It's Tom Brady,
the
bro.
only way they
If
would.
you think
the
they
only,
would, that means you think they will. If you think
Yeah.
they would, that means you think they will.
I agree.
Because
the
nothing's
only
going to change.
the
I mean,
only thing that changes that is if Purdy wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Anything
That's it.
short of that, they would get Tom if he's available.
and it's Tom Brady, so they probably are still entertain it. That's how crazy it is.
That would be a terrible.
I'm not saying they should, but it's Tom Brady.
but they do have a ready-made team. It's
I
very
agree.
similar to
Yeah,
Tampa.
they would. It's like it's not a good idea. Like Michael Jordan's son date Scottie Pippen's ex-wife. I mean, it sounds good, but I mean, it's old pussy.
It is old pussy.
Yeah, so we'll see. The Chargers, as of right now, they have made changes to their coaching staff as far as their assistant coach and GM, but they haven't made a change at the head coaching.
They're keeping him.
Yeah.
There's no other reason to fire a bunch of assistants if the plan isn't to keep the head coach.
Yeah.
And I hate, for the record, I hate this plan. I think it's stupid and ridiculous that we're not happy, but we're going to sacrifice a couple of assistants but keep this guy that's not really good. And then we're going to pressure him to take certain assistants that we think will help him, and then this guy's going to be the leader of our franchise. You're cutting his balls off.
You know what I think is
And
a plausible?
it's just a moronic play. If he's not good enough, fire him and start from scratch and let the new guy bring whoever he wants.
You know what I think is plausible? He's probably in there with the GM and owner saying, "Hey, I'm really not the one calling the plays. That's my offensive coordinator's calling the plays."
And if you believe that
the defense is not this,
Oh, yeah.
that's the D
And
coordinator.
If you are the ownership or general manager at that team and you buy that, I hope it blows up in your face because you're an idiot.
I don't think they could have fired him. So they had
Why
to.
not?
I mean, because he just
He's
won.
got pictures of the fucking manager.
No, he just won. So
he is on a small progression, like
Yeah,
year to
yeah.
year. They have it on a small progression.
You
like,
lost a 27-point lead.
Yeah, ultimately, but you didn't make the playoffs last year. You made it this year. The year before they had won they had gotten to 500 when they hadn't did it the year before. Like, he is on a small progression. But you would think with a Justin Herbert, with a team that's so talented,
That
around
roster
him,
has a lot of
that's
talent.
Really good roster.
Yeah, you're wasting that roster.
Yeah.
You need to move on from him.
Yeah.
You need to go all in for Sean Payton, whatever it takes. Give him the keys to the city. And
This seems like a team tailor-made for him.
well, and I was talking to some people earlier in the week, like like he's talked to Denver, he's talked to whatever. Sean Payton does not need to partner with an old quarterback. And Sean Payton is a quarterback guru, and he needs a young guy that he can really develop.
Drew was an old, but he was a seasoned vet.
He was earlier in
When he
his
was leaving
career,
Miami.
and he had not really known any sustained success.
Yeah.
And they grew together. But Sean Payton now is not the same guy that was Saints coach at that time. This is a different guy. He's he's more seasoned, he's more experienced. He carries more weight and credibility when he walks into the locker room now than when he did as Saints coach at that hiring time. He's the most coveted, best qualified, best pedigree available coach at the moment at the NFL level. So you have a young quarterback, you have a talented roster, I believe most of which is under contract. That's what you do. Get rid of the Staley guy, cast him off to the Wolves or whatever.
It's unfortunate we have a person commenting.
Shout out
a
to
Wildcat.
the Wildcats. Shout out to the Wildcats, baby.
agreeing with Just Black. That disturbs my stomach.
Who's that? What's Miss K Nicole? What's that?
But it's notable. Yeah. Is that what that say? Miss K. Yeah, Miss K Nicole.
Yeah, shout out to you,
Shout
man.
out.
Are not outraged.
must-
Bubba stands alone.
Yeah, you the only one.
in his condemnation of the Hall of Famer Ed Reed.
She might be a seasoned Wildcat.
Wow, what was that?
Wow. Bubba's firing shots at a fan.
He called you old. That's crazy.
I did not say that. Miss K Nicole. I did not say that.
He said you were in the Puma room at that sex party that he attended.
I did not say that.
Yeah, looking for young folks.
Once again, you guys are on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink. And we have Just Black in the building, Just Black TV on YouTube. Don't forget, On the Bench podcast is available on all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Oh, that was a little NFL there. Let's get to some basketball. There's quite a few things going on. But first, I want to talk about something fundamentally. Let's talk about what Austin Rivers went and said on a recent podcast.
I'm gonna try to make this as sweet as possible because this really does bother me. I talk about this all the time. When I played in high school, you only got a mixtape if you were like a top tier guy. Back then, like you had to put in work, like consistent work, build a name for yourself to get a mixtape, and it was like an honor to have a Ball is Life mixtape. It was an honor to have a Hoop mixtape. We didn't play to have one, though. I didn't go into a game doing something to be on Hoop mixtape. I went into the game to win and just be myself. And Hoop Mixtape and them were there following me. I didn't ask Hoop Mixtape to come follow me. I didn't pay Hoop Mixtape $1. I didn't pay Ball is Life $1. They just followed me because I was that guy. They followed Brad Beal because he was that guy. They followed this guy because he was that guy. That's how it was. The landscape has changed now. Parents are paying these people to come to games. Everyone gets a mixtape. Everyone looks at the camera now and taps on their head and they dunk on someone, and it's all highlight after highlight after highlight. And now only kids watch highlights. They don't watch the actual basketball game, the purity of the game. Making a hockey pass, which means making the right pass. Even though you're not going to get an assist, you're driving to make a play so someone else can make the play to get an assist. Diving on the floor, talking on defense, playing defense at all, shooting good shots, making the game easy, being efficient with basketball, and scoring off 1 or 2 dribbles rather than 15 dribbles. This whole thing, and I only named like 12. There's 50 of them, has been forgotten about in basketball. And you're seeing it with some of these guys that come to the NBA. And I can name you names, but I'm not going to. That come into the NBA and have all the talent in the world, but like they need to be taught basketball because like this is what basketball is now. Like highlight culture has absolutely it has killed the game of basketball.
I could not agree more.
It's a fact.
When I first watched that, it like spoke to my soul. It just. Sometimes somebody says something that's just so true, like you really can't add on it, and that's what it was.
And it's like so obvious. I was talking to somebody. The kid with one arm.
Yeah, Emmanuel Hansel.
And somebody was like, "Oh, he's gonna make it to the NBA, man." I was like, "No, he's not, because it's the NBA." No, you don't know. You just hate, man. I seen him play. I said, "Listen, these are like world class athletes."
And they have 2 arms.
There's people there's people who you can't go to the league because you can't use your left arm adequately enough. So if you don't have it at all, you're not going to the NBA. But it's like it's too many. I don't say it's too many because that's what grew the sport. But it's a lot of casual fans who don't watch, and you watch like ESPN and all these places.
That's a massive thing. I went to a pro soccer game in Chicago about maybe 6-7 years ago. And my son and I watched the game. We kind of critiqued the play, what have you. We never got up and cheered or yelled or did anything crazy, but we enjoyed our experience.
Right.
We did it from like a love of soccer perspective.
Right.
Got back to the hotel, went to McDonald's, and there were 3 fat guys in front of me at McDonald's, and they had on team shirts and hats, and they're talking about the game and the season, and their conversation to me was idiotic. These guys can't play soccer. They don't know soccer. They should probably shut up. Right. And then I paused. It's like, those guys make this work as much as I do.
Exactly.
Because they're buying all this freaking merchandise. They're not getting pussy, but they're talking about the soccer game, and it matters to them, and they get the tickets, and they're probably buying beer and hot dogs and stuff that I won't buy at a stadium because it's overpriced. Right. And they drive the economy of sports.
It's like a catch-22 because it's like, that's why the sports in general has grown so much and people can get these massive contracts, but it's also the reason why it's hard to like coach kids because it's like you watching the highlight reel, you watching the highlight film, and these guys who are like uber talented and gifted, they don't know how to play basketball, they don't know how to play football, they don't know how to play soccer because they don't know how to, like you said, make a hockey assist. They don't know how to set a pick or set a screen. They don't know, and you get players like Russell Westbrook. You get these players who are just world-class athletes, but you can't play him at the end of games, and he'll be a Hall of Famer. Or you'll have...
context. Like Russell Westbrook is going to be a deserving Hall of Famer. He has shortcomings in his game at the NBA level. Austin Rivers, the person who made these comments, is essentially an NBA journeyman.
Right.
But both those guys are millions of miles ahead of the people that Austin's talking about.
Of course.
And that's some guy on the JV team or a varsity guy or a guy that gets cut who's, dropping mixtapes from LA Fitness and stuff like that. Like, that's just a joke, man.
I mean, but
It's just a total.
but it's
joke.
like people like that because Russell Westbrook is not as far from that as you would say.
he is though. When you really look at it,
He's a Laker fan.
Yeah,
Man.
okay. And I've never liked Russell Westbrook, but it's like these guys.
He's not that far. Stop it.
No. But there is guys who are like super athletic and super hyper athletic, hyper body build who can overcome that and then make it to the next level, and everybody think they can do it. It's certain things that LeBron does that are like not mechanically right, but they're like they work for LeBron and they work at the highest level, so now people do them.
They try to do them, yeah.
Or they try to do them.
That's the thing. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, I'm a big like aristocracy of talent guy, and like the guys that reach the professional level, the high level D1s and stuff like that. That is a tremendous amount of talent, but it's also a tremendous amount of mental talent and mental toughness to do that. And that's what, like with the highlight guys, that's what you don't have.
Yeah.
Right.
You have a guy like, and I mean, I would probably suspect 99% of the highlight guys don't really win many games.
No.
Or they've reached a point where they just can't function and win, and they pivot, and they just go to this highlight thing. And
Right.
this is my thing. I'm the fucking dribble guy. I'm the whatever guy. And they love the game. They want to stay involved. They want to have some sort of popularity to it. And they just find this lane and create content with it. But you're so far removed from anything that wins basketball games at any respectable level.
Right.
Keith says Austin is 1,000% right, but it's not going to stop me from getting paid to help all these trash kids.
Truth.
You guys both are saying, because you're saying on one end it helps the sport become more popular. It helps the more people. It attracts more people to the sport, but also on the other end, it also can be bad for the actual game itself.
Dilutes the
Right.
sport.
It dilutes the sport.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like which one do you want? Because highlights are really what the young guys and the young people TikTok highlights of basketball, IG now with the stories, like John Miranda is featured in that, so it's like that's how a lot of younger people consume sports these days anyhow.
Right.
It's just off straight highlights. So when they look at themselves when they play sports, that's how they are going to try to play
Present it,
them,
yeah.
in the same eyes that they watch sports in general, period.
It is always going to be an uneasy coexistence.
Yeah.
But if sports continue to be the money machine that they are, the coexistence has to do. You have to have people that are passionate about it, that even if they don't know it, they're going to spend money on it, they're going to consume it, they're going to care. That drives the sports economy. And I think Austin's kind of alluding to it when he says that there's guys that come into the league now,
Right.
and they don't really understand how to play. Then you're in a dangerous position because the product at the top of the pyramid becomes diluted.
Right.
And now you're in a place that's not good.
But to Black's point about how tough it can be or will be to coach the younger generations, it's like
Just cut them.
you can't really even. Those guys are so individually talented. You
It's
do have
hard-
a tough.
it's hard to cut 'em.
because if you cut them or bench them, they're just going to go to the other AAU team. They're just going to go to the other school. Like they're lifting.
But
all
here's
these
the
restrictions.
gamble. Here's the gamble. Like, and this is why I believe, like in the aristocracy of talent, if you're too fixated on your individual nonsense, you're not going to be a good winning player, and you're not going to achieve success in the game. So if you leave and go to another school, if you're that guy, good, you're going to bounce around to 4 or 5 schools in high school, and you're going to lose or be irrelevant or be a disliked player at every place you go, because you are not a winning player.
Or maybe not, because
There's no baby down on that.
That's the culture now.
No, but look.
People go to multiple schools.
No, and that's fine. But I'm just saying, if they're not going to achieve, guys that you screw yourself up if you to go like
Yeah, I
high
know what you're
college
saying.
NBA
Yeah.
if you don't learn how to really play. Now, I mean, there are freak athletes
I mean,
that
look,
are around,
but look
that's it.
again. Look at Russell Westbrook.
Right.
Russell Westbrook is not a winning player, but he will be a Hall of Famer. He averaged triple doubles for 4 or 5 years, but it's because he manipulated the rules and he's a freakish athlete.
And I think that's the exception. He said at the end there's going to be freakish athletes that can probably bend around that.
Well, there's and again, I mean, and Westbrook is a unique exception to that. But I mean, like you look at like draft busts, like guys that go in the top 5, 7, 8 picks. You don't get drafted in that area if you're not some sort of physical freak. And a lot of those guys, don't pan out because they don't develop their games or they don't love the game that they need like they do. I mean, the one thing that I absolutely love about the majority of anybody in the NBA that we really think is good, those guys are always getting better. They're always adding stuff to their bag.
Always.
Season to season, you see it, and there's nothing but respect for that. And that's really the model that people need to look at. But most people are too short-sighted.
But
and that's why the pyramid top is so small.
But that's what Austin Rivers is speaking to, the fact that it's so many of these guys who are just not smart basketball players because they never learned.
Right.
And so now because it used to be like growing up, I was small. I was small, but we played basketball every day. So the only way I could play is if I was smart, because I wasn't taller, I wasn't faster, I didn't jump higher, but I could play because I can maestro the game. I know how to play defense. I know how to read the defense, so I can actually know how to play the game and be effective. Now, it's guys who are just like superior athletes, so you don't have to be as smart because you're just better physically.
Well, I don't look at it really as like a superior athlete thing. Like I think and Bubba, you play a lot and I play a lot. Like you go to like some of these gyms and you see the younger kid, and like we're not just talking about freakish athletes, some 15-year-old who's 6'8" or anything, but you see so many kids. They're young, they've got some ability or whatever, but they're just focused or intent on the wrong stuff, and they're miserable to play with.
Right.
You don't want them on your team, and more often than not, they lose, and they're typically tend to be like very front-running, powdish kids. They hit a couple shots, they're swaggering around doing this crap, and then they lose, and then they're on their cell phone and quietly leaving the gym. Like those are just soft bitches.
Right.
That's what they are, and I mean, we don't have to worry about them. The game's gonna sort them out. The guys that get through the pyramid, if you're a freakish athlete or you're a guy that learns how to
the game's
play,
gonna sort them out. I like how you said that.
It's fine. Yeah, I mean that's those guys are always going to make their way. I think to me, and I coached high school for about 15 years. Like if you love the game of basketball, you have an affirmative duty to cut fake pretenders. Even if at this window of time they might be like a bit more advanced than some other kids that you have, don't empower the idiocy. If you see that that's what the kid is all about, that ain't gonna change.
Yeah.
Take somebody who's gonna do more to win.
I mean, but when you agree, it used to be easier because there was less AAU teams. Now there's one every block.
I mean, I coached in high school from basically like 90 or 2000 to about 2014. There was a lot of AAU. I mean, and to me, the thing that I think is like I would almost laugh because I coached a little AAU too, and like you'd be at a tournament at Disney, and like you'd be on this AAU team, a third-rate AAU team. It's like, oh man, coaches are gonna see us, and like you could be playing on one court at Disney, and at the other court, like Coach K, Coach Calipari, Jim Bay, every motherfucker you ever saw on TV is there because one guy's there and he ain't on your court, and nobody's gonna see you. Like you could literally like fart and those guys could smell it, but they ain't gonna watch your game. So I mean, again, the game sorts it out.
Right.
Chris put up a good point. He says it's only going to get worse because clout on social media is better than winning to these young guys.
Well, I think
in their opinion,
the guy that stands out to me is that Mikey kid.
Yeah.
He was on a podcast and he was like talking about his brand.
Yeah, I saw.
And it's like, motherfucker, you haven't played a game in the league.
Right.
I don't know if you can or can't.
Right.
Yeah.
But here's one thing I know. I'm taking Victor over your ass,
Yeah.
and I'm taking Scoot over your ass because those guys are playing the part. Like Scoot goes into the G League and he's grinding.
Right.
He's going after people. Victor comes from overseas. I trust overseas guys.
Yeah, especially now.
The development that they go through, and they get in a professional setting that's about winning and playing, at 16 and 17 years old. By the time they're draft eligible, they're already seasoned professionals.
Yeah,
You
I know y'all have seen these kids who are like 6'6" and they doing windmills and they bouncing off the ground and they shooting long range threes, and then you see them play, they can't dribble, they can't play the wing, so it's like, oh, you just can do things.
Yeah.
You can't play basketball, you just can do things.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
And worst of all, they don't impact the game at all.
Right.
You look up, you can't even remember they were in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, again, I'm like kind of rooting against like the Mikeys of the world. Like, I don't want them to succeed because I do think it sends a bad message. I think that's where Chris is kind of going with it.
No, for sure.
And that, like, I'm all for the guys that come in with the right purpose and succeed and move this shit.
Oh, let me see what Keith says. Clout and NIL is really more about their brand than their play. Yes, Scoot is better than Mikey, but I bet Mikey makes more money just off his NIL deals.
Maybe so, but I mean, and I again, I've said it a million times in this show. I'm not a get the bag guy.
Yeah.
I'm just not. There's deeper shit than getting the bag. If you care about the craft, if you really care about the craft, and the reality is, he might be true, but Scoot won't be broke.
Right.
The craft will take
Right.
care of you.
Yeah, because he's going number 2. Like, that's pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to have a longer career, but we don't know that. But just right now, basing off
Yeah.
what Mikey is about versus what's
And I really hate the but he got more money though argument. It's just so like
We're playing basketball.
Yeah, come on.
Be a better player here between the lines.
Who's better?
Otherwise, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If your retort to getting beat is, I got more money than you, like, you're playing a different game. Like, and if that's the game you want to play, go ahead.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Once again, you guys are on the bench podcast. Bubba and Pink got Just Black in the building from Just Black TV on YouTube. We are on all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Let's get to a little game here that actually Just Black inspired here.
Oh, you're an inspiration, man.
Start a bench with Coach Pink.
He's
man.
blushing.
Because I hate when he be like, it was his idea. It's like, man, I told you that in confidence, man.
I told you that in confidence. So what we're going to do here is we'll give Pink 60 seconds to react to some of the trending topics in sports, music, and entertainment, because, of course, that's what we're about here on the bench. And similar to what we did with Blu-ray, we're going to have Just Black be his assistant coach here. And he's going to chime in on different topics that I have here. All right. So first off, and I think I have my clock here. There we go. First off, Ja Morant, start a bench.
We'll start it. I like this. This is interesting.
So Ja Morant had another ridiculous dunk. Matter of fact, Ja Morant is a guy where his missed dunks are a highlight reel in itself. And most recently, after his last dunk last week, he got drug tested for a league-high 7th time this season.
I've heard this in multiple sports, like that following great performance, there's like, oh, suddenly I'm up for the drug test. I think that's total bullshit. I think it should stop. It's just not good for the game. I mean, if you have some random drug testing program, let it be a random drug testing program. Don't pollute it. It serves no purpose. So fuck the authorities.
What'd you say, Black?
Now, first of all, people don't dunk like that. That's because Ja Morant dunks like you ever see those movies where they show like the people dunking and it never looks real? That's how Ja Morant dunks. Like it looks like he just came off a trampoline.
Like Teen Wolf or something.
Yeah, he should. There's nobody should be 6'1" and 117 pounds and touching the top of the backboard. Definitely drug test this guy.
No, man.
Time. Something that literally just came in. It's not even on there. LaMelo Ball, start a bench.
We'll start. We have to figure out what's going on.
I know, right?
Okay, with that setup.
So he was helped off the court tonight with his 3rd ankle injury this season. What do you make of LaMelo Ball's start to his career, and what do you foresee happening with him there in Charlotte?
It's going poorly. It started very nice, great flash, but again, he's fallen into a thing where he's often injured, missing time. The team and organization are floundering, and he's essentially fading in relevance. Like, how much have you heard about him this year? Like, not a whole lot. There's so many other guys that are performing better. I don't want to say he's a middle of the pack player, but he's on the cusp of irrelevance, really, as any sort of star. The trajectory, it's what, year 3 for him? You should be where Anthony Edwards is, threatening all-star game and just unquestionably a rising star. And health, organizationally, it hasn't been there. So he's on his way to being a failure.
What'd you say, Black?
I mean, honestly, I've never understood the LaMelo Ball hype. I thought he's a serviceable point guard. Like, he's a serviceable, but it's just a lot of hype for nothing. He's not the greatest shooter. He gambles
Time.
a lot. Okay.
Pink took a lot of your time.
No worries. I'm
the head coach and he's the assistant.
right. I just feel the same way he felt.
Yeah, pretty much. No, that's good. Aaron Rodgers started bench.
Start Aaron Rodgers.
All right, so of course he's on his friend Pat McAfee show as he does. I think now at least once a week.
Those guys didn't play together, right? They just developed a friendship.
Yeah, I think he's developed.
They're
I don't
tight, though.
remember him playing for the Packers at all. I
thought he was a Colt.
Pat McAfee. Yeah, I think he's a Colt most of his career. So basically, he says that he still believes he can play at an MVP level going into next year if it's in the right situation. Some people think that he should have said he could win a championship next year.
That's exactly where I was going to go with it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought it was fascinating that he stopped at MVP.
Mm-hmm.
What is that optimal situation? Like, would it also be a situation where you could win a lot?
Right.
Aaron Rodgers is an ultra talented guy, but he's ventured into a phase of his career where he's kind of lost the plot, and he's had a lot of suspect performances in big games over the last maybe 3 to 5 years. And whether he plays or not, I think the league is fine, and I'm not particularly excited to see him play again.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers has like a God complex. I always say, like, if you tell a man he's God long enough, he'll believe you. So when he speaks, he's telling you, hey, I can win an MVP. Who gives a fuck about winning a championship? It's all about me. It's about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
All righty then. Time. Fort Pierce started bench.
Who?
Fort Pierce.
Fort Pierce, the city?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, why not?
So Martin Luther King Day came and went, and right after the event at a car show, there was a shooting in Fort Pierce where one was killed, 7 others were shot. So again, you have we talk about gun control on the show and things like that, and also compiled with it being for an MLK celebration. Just asking for a simple reaction here. So what is happening?
Same one I had last week, man. If you want the guns, you gotta accept the blood.
Yeah.
I mean, guns don't kill people. People kill people. I carry, so that's my answer. God bless America.
I guess that was a quick one.
There's not much to say, man. You're either, as long as you're gonna tolerate guns, you have to tolerate blood.
Right, it is what it is.
All right, something a little more fun.
What's wrong with 1 dead and 7 shot? Come on. You said it was a celebration.
Double cheeseburger started bench.
Oh, I had one right on the way to the show. We're there.
Well, they have ranked all the fast food cheeseburgers and double cheeseburgers, if you will, and they have crowned a new champ.
What are we defining as fast food, though?
So to just give you some examples, some of the McDonald's was on the list, Burger King, but also Whataburger, Five Guys, Cookout, Sonics, In-N-Out, Shake Shack, White Castle, things of that nature.
What about like BurgerFi? You said
BurgerFi.
Okay, so the tier of like Five Guys, BurgerFi, this kind of burger specialty places.
Yeah, but Wendy's is also on there. Burger King, McDonald's. Like as far as all the places they
well, I was gonna say they definitely have like the lower tier, but then they up it
also
a little bit.
yes they also
yeah.
up it a little bit.
Is Red Robin on there?
I do not see.
Okay.
Red Robin on here.
I would say from a pure burger perspective of the ones mentioned, I would say BurgerFi is my favorite pure burger.
Okay.
This is a touchy subject for me because I haven't eaten meat all year. So 18 days I haven't eaten anything but seafood. So let's move on before I start crying.
Is coochie part of seafood?
We'll see.
Yeah, that's the low calorie tuna.
Low calorie tuna.
Depending on how fresh it is down there.
I will say Shake Shack 1.
Shake Shack. I'll respect that.
In-N-Out 2. Five Guys 3.
Wait, that's your ranking or that's the official ranking?
That's the official ranking.
I don't disagree. Shake Shack's pretty good.
Shake
Shack's pretty good.
All right.
I enjoy the burger, but the fries at Shake Shack are top tier.
I hear about the fries at Shake Shack.
Crispy, crinkle cuts.
I haven't had them.
Yeah, and
I'm not a burger guy.
I love Red Robin, man. That place is wonderful, but I guess it's more of a
always
sit-down.
see it, and I wonder who's keeping them in business.
Me,
I've never,
among others. Yeah. Red Robin has like every food that I like. It has like burgers that are good. It has like fries. It has these like kind of like home style chips that are great. They have mozzarella sticks. They have milkshakes. Like all the just shitty food.
You able to eat like that still?
In moderation.
Oh my man, I had a burger last year, man. At the end of the year, and I'm still recovering, man.
Really? I ain't going 18 days eating fish, man. That's not in the cards for me.
Let's see here. NFL start a bench.
NFL general, yeah. We'll start it.
So the regular season ratings are down 3% over last season. When they go to totality, it's a significant number. But what do you think is attributing to that? And do you think that is a trend or just something that's just out of the blue type of thing that happens in a year?
Out of the blue. I really don't know what it accounts for. I mean, a lot of people were psychologically scarred with the COVID nonsense and spent more time at home. Maybe they're getting more and more people are just getting out and moving about and less concerned about watching the games. There is that. Maybe there's a residual impact of like the sort of the right-wing political, jackasses that were turned off by the protests and flag celebrations. Good riddance to those guys and their children. But yeah, I mean, I really don't know. I mean, it's it is it could be the highlight culture.
Yeah,
people don't want to watch a 4-hour game.
Yeah,
that's it. I think the NFL games move along a little bit better than the college games. To me, the college games are tough. They like literally run 4 hours every time, and that's a long commitment to just sit and watch one game.
That's what it is, though. Highlight culture. People just they partake in things like hors d'oeuvres. They just get the 4-minute clip, 2-minute clip. We watch first taking. Those guys don't watch the game. They just get hot. They just get the hot take. They get like a clip, and they say this is what's going on, and that's how everybody consumes it. Unless you're a real fanatic.
Time, but you know what I think has something to do with it? A fire stick. I don't think they found a way to account for that yet. A lot of people, I'm telling you, man,
that's
a lot of people
not
are
in the
consuming.
ratings dynamic.
Right, that's not in the ratings dynamic.
They
So
can't
and I think a lot more and more people every year are consuming sports and or other, whatever.
You mean like the illegal, like the
That's
3%. That's a large number in this grand scheme to say all of it is because of that. I'm just saying. I think it's a piece.
No, I could see that because I mean, when you do talk to people, it feels more and more people are like cutting the cord and they're having alternative ways.
Right.
Like my son doesn't have cable. Like it's like he was telling me the other day, like he's gotten into the NFL this year, but like unless he goes to a friend's house and they like watch and cook out, he doesn't watch because he doesn't have TV at the house like that.
Yeah. Okay. LeBron James started bench. That's the big picture there.
Always got to start LeBron.
Yeah. So of course he had that game. What was that? A few days ago, where there was so many generational, comparisons there, where he played against Kenyon Martin, and then he's dunking on Kenyon Martin there, but he also played against Kenyon Martin's son.
Yeah.
Then you have the coach.
Then Jabari Smith.
Played against his dad.
Yeah.
And then also the coach played against. He was coached by the coach's dad.
Oh, okay.
Right. So just a simple reaction to that and what he's doing this year.
If you stay around long enough, those sort of things start to happen.
Yeah.
I don't like the GOAT debate and the endless pettiness that entails, but I mean, what LeBron has achieved since he stepped into the public eye, I think as a sophomore in high school, has been just absolutely amazing. I mean, almost impeccable. It's just a record of performance, scandal free, and all that. It's it is good to just take a moment and just admire what the hell this guy's done, because it's ridiculous. No years off, just continuing to perform at a high level, and it is almost sad that he's in a team situation where they're just not successful. And he's literally played out with the exception of the bubble title, like his other Laker years have just been this sort of also ran mess. I mean, in a weird way, I mean, his individual performance and numbers are far superior at this juncture, but in a weird way, the Lakers years, with the exception of the bubble, are not much different than the Wizards years for Michael. Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically just a team out there playing games.
Team success, yeah.
Yeah.
What you think, Black?
Time.
You don't want to be forced to say anything positive about LeBron.
Nah, man, 20 years, you can't sneeze on that, man. It's not this professional sports. People average 3 years, man, 5 years, especially you come out of high school. It's only been a few, man. LeBron, Kobe, Jordan, tough, man. So shout out to LeBron.
The last thing here, because here's something I wanted to talk about, a more deeper topic that I just found on my phone here. But the other one that I left out here was in North Dakota. I just thought it was interesting. There was a ban of sexual explicit library books. Like there was a ban in the state.
The state banned sexually explicit library books.
Right, but now they just lifted it. I just thought that was interesting and funny.
I hope that you'll see Vaseline sales rise like crazy, rise like a phoenix from the dead.
But as far as reacting to anything you guys
what else
said,
do you have to do other than whack off in North Dakota?
You think that's a part of it? Maybe that's why they lifted it.
Why not?
Yeah.
But I mean, who does books anymore?
Yeah, who goes to the library?
You got Pornhub, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had porn in the library.
Yeah. Well, now they're going to.
Sexually explicit. What's the line on that?
Yeah.
Do they the old penthouse letters?
with pictures and with content? I read the article. So with pictures or with content, like those Zane books. Remember that back in the day?
Yeah.
Zane? I forgot the full name, but it was a Zane.
No, those Zane books, man. Girls who read those get loose. Shout out to y'all.
Spread those books around.
Yeah, but stuff like that, right?
Let's start a book club.
So, are you guys? Did you guys hear about the Alabama basketball player? Right?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, Darius Miles. Of course, Alabama basketball, not football, right? Him and another guy was arrested for the fatal shooting of a 23-year-old girl, Jamia Harris. Now, more details have come out about that situation, and it seems like they have already determined that Darius, the Alabama basketball player, he did not shoot her, but he did provide the gun.
Right.
The alleged shooter is Michael. Said he struck the girl with a single fatal gunshot as she sat in the passenger seat of the car. Now there are rumors that he was trying to talk to the
her,
girl.
That Darius was.
Yeah, that Darius, the Alabama basketball player, was, and that she wouldn't, talk to him or give him her number type of thing.
Who's the shooter? Is it like just a personal buddy of Darius's, or is he older, younger? What's going on?
Yeah, I don't have that information. That is a good question here, and it's not in this article. They talk about who is Darius, but not much about the guy.
Yeah.
The details are weird because they say that she was with her boyfriend. He shot back.
He returned shots.
Yeah, the details are weird about that. So I don't know.
Shootout at the Tuscaloosa Corral.
And she has a 5-year-old son.
That's crazy.
And she was visiting her cousin on the campus. Wow, that's why she was there in the first place. She wasn't a student; she was visiting. She was just trying to enjoy her weekend with her cousin that attends the University of Alabama.
So she wasn't living in Tuscaloosa.
I'm not sure if she was living there, but she was just there. She was on campus to visit her cousin.
Yeah, this is really odd. I mean, there has to be a lot more to this story.
I would think so, but maybe not. I don't know.
I think it got to be a lot because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all.
He maintains his innocence, though.
Because here's the thing: if the girl would not talk to Darius Miles.
So his friend shot her.
So yeah, your friend shot. That doesn't make sense.
Makes
right?
no
from
sense.
jump. That makes no sense at all. You know, and then she's with the boyfriend. So it's like that's apparently on the table.
I can see something dumb happening to where he's the basketball player. I'm pretty sure the guy he's with is not. So the guy in his mind, he's trying to protect. So he probably tries to holler at the girl. Didn't know that the guy's there, that's a boyfriend. They get into some type of situation or argument over that. This is just me. This is my theories, right?
Right.
And then they get into an altercation. Darius probably has a gun on him. Probably gives the gun to the friend.
You know where I'm going with this.
And that's when he's like, yeah, do your dirty work for you type of thing. I'm going to protect the star, protect the bag.
That's why I asked about what is the deal with this friend.
Yeah.
Is he like a younger, like more impressionable, and Darius kind of has like a power over him, or is he even maybe older but feels like he's the protector of Darius and he's gonna whatever take the shot because that's what you do? What is the connection with that guy? I don't know. Or is that initial fact just wrong that this arose out of this girl not wanting to talk to you? And then even when you say, okay, I don't want to talk to you, did they just encounter each other that day or night on campus, and that was the first time they'd ever come across each other?
Yeah.
Or is this something where
question.
he'd been trying to holler at her, maybe in the DMs, just not getting any traction, and what have you?
Yeah, that's what makes it weird, because I don't care what nobody says. There's no male ego that fragile that.
Oh, don't underestimate the fragility.
No, but I play on the college. I play on the college basketball team in Alabama.
Yeah.
That means I can fuck a lot of girls here.
The football players are fucking them all, man. You're just getting secondhand sluts.
You gonna get.
Still, you're gonna get.
I was fucking a lot, and I'm 5'5".
I did a lot of
yeah,
damage.
like come on, man. Like come on, man. Like it doesn't make sense. Okay, so you tried to holler at the girl, she wasn't interested. Her boyfriend was there. You gave your friend a gun. He shot at her. She died. Her boyfriend's there. He returned fire. It's just a lot, and we're only getting there. We're only getting the boyfriend side of the story. It's just a lot of moving parts, and I don't like to speculate that kind of stuff. Especially this guy's. If any of this is remotely true, this guy's life is over.
But I'm gonna tell you something, man. Guys are dumb, man. Quick, very true story. True story. That's in the same lane, but not really similar. But I was at Bethune, and I was walking to my dorm room, and there was a girl walking maybe 10 to 15 steps above me, and there was this guy and this homeboy that was driving down the street.
You guys are on the sidewalk?
Yeah, me and the girl are on the sidewalk, and like I said, she's about 10 to 15 steps in front of me, and the guys roll up on the side, and the driver guy is trying to holler at the girl, and she's not. She's like no, and then she's walking straight, not paying any attention, and I don't know why, but it's the way they're doing it. They're being very boisterous about it, and she's turning them down, and so I laugh. And the dude
Shot you.
Nah. Like, he looks at me though. He looks at me and he pulls out his gun. He said, "What you laughing at, fuck Nick?" Like that. And just cause I laugh, type of thing. Now, if I'm somebody different, or if I got a gun on me, who knows what the fuck could happen right there? Because of an ego versus ego.
What you are saying is the reason I'm so anti-gun.
Yeah.
Because, again, take the guns out of that whole situation.
Yeah.
What's the worst that? Maybe the guy jumps out of the car and wants to fight you?
Yeah.
Okay, we can survive that.
Yeah.
But, again, and you're 100% right. If he pulls the gun and you have a gun, you're probably going to, be more willing to, maybe fire first. Yeah. And you have fatalities. I mean, with whatever the build up to this is,
and then maybe that
and
girl gets shot.
Whatever the criminality of this is going to turn out, like, because guns are available, you now have a dead mother.
Right.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, that's just not a win for anybody.
Right. Unfortunately, whatever happened, so a lady's not here no more. She left a kid here. She left a mother, family, and that's unfortunate. That's stupid. It ain't. No matter what they were doing, it wasn't worth this.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate, man. So.
But it's funny because like perspective is a wild thing because it's like in that moment.
Right.
Like the people get their their feelings hurt or whatever.
Right.
And I keep circling back to the gun. It's like you get people in these moments where they get themselves worked up emotionally and they have the means and access of an instrument of death. It becomes different. The outcomes are different. And again, it's different for the girl. She's dead.
Right.
It affects her child, everything else. And then these guys are going to go to jail. And it affects anything they had going on up to that point.
Let me read some of these comments before we move on to our next topic. It's been a lot of different comments. Keith's going back to the college, going back to the highlight culture kids. These kids don't care about playing like we did. That's the biggest problem. We got Kobe. Shout out my cousin watching the show. He said he would bench LaMelo, as far as like the topic wise, benching LaMelo. Yeah. But he says terrible organizations always ruin good players. That's a good point.
No, there's.
Shout out to Chuck. LaMelo is the type of player Austin was talking about.
That's true.
When Melo kind of had his coming out, it was after Lonzo moved to UCLA, and what did we see Melo do? Like pointing at half court and shooting half court shots. In games.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that whole mentality. And people didn't. I mean, there was a lot of people that just didn't like him from the jump because of that stuff.
Chuck, he's siding with BurgerFi.
Okay,
he's a BurgerFi guy, like Pink is. Going back to Kobe, which we call him Fish, out of Fish. I don't know what name he want to go by today. Shake Shack, 6 out of 10. So he
6 out of 10.
Nah, those burgers.
Top.
Let me Shake Shack's burgers, man. They are good. I don't love the fries like Pink, but the burgers are fire.
Yeah.
And then we got Coach in here. He just wants people to know he still go Dolphins.
Coach Rudy, don't say that out loud, man. They had one good season. Now everybody go Dolphins.
He's ready for September.
He's ready, man.
Hold the baby for 9 months.
I wanted to do something a little fun here. Let's talk Gilly the kid who has a podcast, $1 Million Worth of Game. He was on his IG and he was talking. It's just something I disagree with. I'm going to play the video right here.
Bubba disagrees.
Say this, right? To all you old heads that's running around trying to live y'all second fucking childhood because you finally came up on some fucking money at 41 years old, 43 and a half. Now you running around with all the designer shit on, all the big ass sneaks, trying to act like you a cool ass old head. You're not. You're corny, nigga. You always been corny. Ain't nothing gonna change that. You a CMF for life, a corny motherfucker. And you know who know that you're corny? All the motherfuckers that knew you before you was 41 and a half years old and finally got your fucking life together and got some money. Now you run around and you think you got a nice car, you got a big ass Balenciagas on that you ain't supposed to be or have. No, you too old for that shit. I'm just telling you, you're still fucking corny, alright? And you got the big ass teeth in your mouth. That shit don't mean nothing. You're corny, alright? I was gonna go get my pups done, but I ain't found the nigga who ain't made 2 big teeth yet. So I'm going to run around with these pups. But the bottom line is, you niggas is still corny. If you wasn't a fly nigga, you wasn't a live nigga when you was a young nigga, just because you're old and you finally got some money and you think you figured shit out, you're still fucking corny. Don't ever fucking forget that. Right?
I just think that's just, it's like, I mean, I understand people get on IG or IG Live and they just, they want to talk, whatever quick thought going through their mind, and they want to make a quick thought, they want to joke. But no matter what age you are, if it's if you getting some money and you have access amount of money and you want to buy stuff, jewelry or clothes or stuff that you never had before, so fucking what? Let them buy it. 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. And they want to wear the new style that's going on right now, and they didn't have the money before to buy it, but for whatever reason, whether it's a new job or a new business, whatever's going on in their life that has their money, that increase their money, and if that's something they want to go and do it because they missed out on it or whatever, let them do it. So what?
It is funny. I would say this. I was on Lake Mary Boulevard today, and I was heading straight on Lake Mary Boulevard. A guy in a Ferrari was turning left onto Reinhardt, and he had the Ferrari convertible, and he was dressed like, in clearly like these designer clothes, and he was an older guy, and I just couldn't help but have that thought. Like, what the fuck's up with this guy? Like, you gotta dress like that? Like, it did look like it looked forced. It looked, and I get what he's saying. Like, if you are a certain way, and maybe you're the same way, but just have a little bit more money to do that, that's okay. But if you're a guy that was just like, no designer stuff, no sense of fashion or matching outfits, suddenly you get some money in your mid 40s and you're, decked out like a 20-year-old. That is something, But my kids criticize me for like trying to dress too young or whatever, and oh, Dad, you should dress more like this. I don't want to be that motherfucker in slacks on a weekend and in boat shoes. That's not gonna be me. So if you want that to be your dad, like, you got to go get adopted, because that's not gonna happen.
That's like, man. Honestly, I don't care what people do, but I understand what he's saying. Jay-Z said, you could try to change, but that's just the top layer, man. You was who you was before you got here. So people who they never like, I've never been into fashion or clothes. So people who never been that way, they do look goofy because they don't wear it right. They wearing the wrong shit. They do, like, you just look goofy. No matter how much money you got, if you goofy, you gonna look goofy.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be funny. And there's gonna be people like Gilly who's not gonna let it go. Me, I'm just gonna think to myself, this guy looks goofy.
Right. That's totally what I thought about.
That's all it is.
That's totally what I thought about Ferrari Man, though. It was just like, yeah, I don't know what this guy does, but this just doesn't look natural, man. Like, that's the guy. If you found a picture of him at 22, and put that pic, like, no,
yeah, you just
go
gonna like I got a friend. He into shoes and he into clothes. That's his thing. So no matter how old he get,
that's what
he's gonna be a fly dude. If for some reason, now that I'm like older and I'm more financially stable, and I start buying a bunch of Jordans and shit, people gonna look at me and be like, what the fuck is wrong with black? Because I don't do that.
Yeah, I think it's like, and I do think, like, certain people that they have a style, like, and it's like, even if they're not wearing necessarily expensive stuff, they just have a way.
Right, that's just how they are.
Just a swagger to them, and that's just who they are. And, like, okay, if they kind of just upgrade that when their money gets better, I'm not going to hate on that. But, like, the ones where it's just like, I've been a dork for 35 years, and now
you got a Mary jeans and shit. Like, come on, man.
Suddenly I got,
I never been I was thinking about this, a week or so ago. I never been a big fashion guy either. But you know what messed that up is when I realized, like, I can get girls like without that. Like,
right.
Like, girls claim they care about a guy's what they wear in fashion, but
they really don't. And it's like,
that's what messed me up when I was a kid.
Since I never had that, and I just had to find other ways to get women.
Yeah.
I don't need it now. Like, now that I can get certain things, I don't need it because, like, that was never my pull, my hook.
Yeah, that's never the hook, right?
Yeah. So,
and that's the thing. I found that I can hook without it. And then it's like, who else am I trying to impress? Another
so if you bust out with some
dude for what?
You bust out with some Fendi shit, people gonna be like, Bubba, what the fuck?
But that's funny you say that, because, like, I think a lot of things that women wear and women do,
it's to impress other women.
It's to impress other women.
Right.
Because a lot of the guys, we just don't care like that. Like, we're not. That's not moving the needle for us.
Right.
Yeah. If you have a good ass and you're not annoying to be around, like, okay, that's all.
Right.
Tights, them little $3 tights that they get from Shein, that'll get me every time.
Yeah,
exactly. Yo,
but it's like going and doing all the extra stuff. It's really, you're competing with other women.
That's the thing. Like, guys who just all of us, like that guy who you saw in traffic.
Yeah,
women see him and be like, that's not how you wear that. So it's like we know that you're what we in Florida we call you're a duck.
Yeah.
So I'm going to date you or be around you because you're a duck. Not because you are dressing nice.
Yeah.
Because you're not dressing nice. You just spent a lot of money on that.
And sense the signal that you have a lot of money, you don't know what to do with. So I'll probably
I'm going to spend some of that.
I'll help you figure that out.
Help you figure that out. No.
That's funny.
No, that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. Well, I think I think that'll wrap that up for today, man. All right, some fun stuff. Just Black, I know I said it 10 times on the show, but you can still let them know where to find you.
Oh, yeah, man. Just Black TV, JUS_BLACK, capital T, capital V. Subscribe, hit the bell, that kind of stuff. More content on the way. I'm on IG, The Real Just Black. Everything's spelled correct except the just has no T. I'm on Twitter, The Real Just Black. I'm on Snapchat, The Real Just Black. I'm on Plenty of Fish, The Real Just Black. I'm not on Plenty. My girl gonna see that. No, never mind. I'm not on any of those things. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. That's
Snapchat.
Snapchat,
All right.
allegedly.
Allegedly. All right.
Really quick here,
Oh,
man.
one more. Let's go. Keep it going.
Nah, it's just because we kind of talked about him before. We could spend 3 minutes on him. This Ben Simmons character, man. He's just so disappointing.
You've never spent 3 minutes on Ben Simmons.
He's just so disappointing. It's not even funny.
Didn't he have a triple-double the other night?
He had 10 points and 11 rebounds. and 10
Now you trying to poo-poo his
in a
triple double.
loss. In a loss. Since KD's been out, he's averaging a whopping 8 points and 9 assists and 8 rebounds. If that's what you like, I guess. And then after he scores 0 points, he scored 0 points in a loss in the game before the triple double. He scored 0 points. And it draw national attention, and he's like, "Yeah, I guess I got to be more aggressive.
I guess
I have to be more aggressive since KD is out." And
I was just
the guys
scoreless with starters minutes. I guess I need to be more aggressive.
and he's shooting 40% from the free throw line this year.
Oh gosh,
it's awful.
what was his free throw percentage like at the height of his career?
I know with us he shot 70% for 2 years.
Okay.
And then it just gradually decreased over time, and I don't know what they're gonna do with him. I'm just happy to be right. You cannot win with a guy like that on your team, because you don't have to guard him, and he's in a max spot. If he goes like after this max contract, it'll be interesting to see what the NBA does with Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
because he's on a max contract now. I assume it's going to be the biggest drop in the history of sports from a guy max contract to his next contract being in his prime, and what he makes after that. It's going to be a significant drop. But I wonder what it's going to look like, and what his team will agree with.
I think he retires when his contract's done.
Could be, man. He's screwed up.
Yeah.
Up here, man. I think he's officially cooked.
But we've seen like Melo had that phase where he was just kind of undesirable in the league.
But he was well past his prime.
But I mean,
this guy's 25, 26.
Mentally, he's not the same
Yeah.
guy. He's not on the same trajectory.
No.
So like physical or age wise, you could say the prime, but there's no dispute at this point that he's not in his prime. He should be, but he's not.
It's a mental thing though, I think.
Yeah, but I was saying just from the simple perspective, not a direct comparison of
No, I understand. Just where they were
he
at.
He could literally just
space.
be like a completely undesirable guy.
Right.
And just nobody wants to touch him because of
somebody will touch him for the right price, because he's a guy that can still play decent defense and pass the ball. He could distribute the ball.
But you're probably gonna have,
and he's 6'10".
You're probably gonna have that weird thing where like his expectations are going to be too high. And again, it could get to one of those things where it drags on.
Yeah. It's
like he spends the whole offseason expecting, at least $15 million a season, and people are talking about like veteran minimums and mid-level exemptions.
You can't go from like he make like 28 or 30 or some shit like that. You can't go from 30 to somebody giving you $5 million.
Yeah.
So he mentally. The kid can still play ball. It's just he mentally can't play.
Yeah.
And I think that he just gonna be like, the hell with this shit. I got rich. I'm going back to Australia. I fucked all the girls I can fuck here.
You're answering everything as people just leaving the scene.
Yeah.
he wants Tom to just go back and see.
Yo, that's where I am.
Ben to go back to
That's
Australia.
where I am at in life, man. I don't want no trouble. I just want, you know what? You don't want me here? Fine, I'll leave.
Just Black is just sending people home. Just putting people out to pasture.
Yeah, but no, I honestly I can see that. That is a good point. He may just leave it altogether, man.
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
The only thing is I do think he's a guy that has acquired some high spending habits.
Yeah,
and it'll almost probably force him to try to find something.
Because he already done fucked that money up.
Yeah, I think from some
he's
of
a
the
big
stuff,
car guy.
Yeah. And chasing a lot of the vapid whores.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Damn, man. Everybody can't be like Josh Allen, man. Just get your checks. Keep your afro.
Keep your afro.
Yeah, Josh Allen still has his pickup truck, old pickup truck he drives.
Wait, Josh Allen for the Bills?
Yeah, that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I said something about an afro, and that threw me off.
Well, once again, you guys have been on the bench podcast. See you guys next week.
Yes.